Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll be talking about tips for sixth form. So I'm going to start with a small introduction. At the start of year 12, I studied 4 subjects in the EPQ, and then now I've dropped down to 3 and finished my EPQ. So initially I studied chemistry, biology, psychology, history, and did an EPQ. And now I'm just doing chemistry, biology, and psychology. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the jump between GCSE to A-level. And one thing I really want to ask you to do is do not underestimate the jump. It's actually quite a big one. And especially people like me, for example, I underestimated the jump between GCSE to A-level. My GCSEs had gone great, so I thought A-levels were going to be smooth sailing. So let's just say, for people who haven't really struggled at school, A-levels might be that time where you start to struggle, and it might come at the cost of you doubting your own abilities. But honestly, once you get through the first term, the next 2 terms become significantly easier. So I'm not someone who finds schooling very, very easy. Like, I can't coast through the classes. I have to put in effort and do hard work to actually get good grades, like a lot of people. That's normal. But yeah, A-level, I definitely underestimated it, and especially chemistry. Chemistry for me was probably the biggest jump. So yeah, to summarize everything, just don't underestimate the jump between GCSE to A-level. Don't start like trying to coast through your classes, because it really won't work out. And try and get into a habit of getting all your work done the day it's set. Now onto something that people find more fun, free periods. Yeah, free periods. A-level was the first time that I actually had the concept of free periods. So a lot of times people find free periods as like an excuse to go maybe out of school and go around town and stuff. And sometimes it can be like that. In the afternoon, if all your friends are like free and you've done all your lessons, you can just go out to town. But oftentimes you should use your free periods as opportunities to study or get ahead in some places if you can. And honestly, that will also make your A-level life much more streamlined, easier, and it'll be easier to get stuff done when you get home because you'll have less to do, having done so much in your free periods. The other thing I recommend is having a to-do list. So I had 2. It was all in the same document. I had things that I wanted to do after school, but I also had a to-do list for things that I wanted to do in my free periods. Let's say if I hadn't done a task, or I was near finishing a task that I started last night, and if I had nothing else to do, I'd just sit down and work through that task. And that system worked really well for me. If anything I had to finish, I often did that in free periods. So this next thing out of the entire list of things I'll be talking about today, I wish I'd done this the quickest, and that is to study for every test like it's your last. Imagine the test that's coming up for you is your last ever exam for your A-levels, and that is the test that's going to determine your future. It's going to help you so much, and it's going to give you a great mentality just towards any type of test. So when it actually comes to the ones that matter, you'll have a really easy system set out, and you'll find it much easier to revise than if you hadn't revised the entire year and it came to your actual A-level. This next tip goes against sometimes what I say in the past. Teachers are there to help, but don't rely on your teachers. At A-level, in sixth form, college, whatever, oftentimes teachers can switch, or room changes can happen where the teacher has to go cover some other class and you're left on your own with cover work to do, or just things that you should get done on your own, like homework. Sure, you should go in and ask your teacher if you don't understand anything, but oftentimes if your teacher changes a lot throughout the year, that opportunity isn't available because they don't know what you struggled in with the past. And at least for me, what I should have done is, instead of having my teacher teach me everything the day of, what I'm going to do next year is, as soon as I find out what we're studying and the order in which we're studying it, so as soon as I find that out, I'm going to start studying for stuff the night before, just so when it comes to the lesson, whatever happens, I'll at least have some knowledge or be ahead of the class. Tip 5, effective notes over pretty notes. And what I mean by that is make effective notes that you'll actually revise from and look back on, instead of really aesthetic, really pretty looking notes that honestly are more work to make than actually to revise from. And maybe you've heard this tip before, but a lot of times what happens is, if you focus on making your notes look really nice, you're not actually learning the information, you're just making them look nice, and that's not going to help anyone. So now what I actually do is, instead of even making notes in the lesson, I actually make study resources, things that I can learn from, instead of really pretty notes or highlighted notes that look really nice to display but aren't actually going to help me. Okay, so this next thing is not really study related, but it's more so just really helpful for making friends, and that is to talk to everyone and anyone you meet and compliment them, comment on things, and oftentimes you'll find it much easier to make friends because if you're more willing to talk, someone might find that they really like talking to you or you really like talking to them. And the other thing I really recommend is complimenting people. If you compliment someone, let's say, I don't know, you like their hairstyle or whatever, you compliment their hair, they'll find that and they'll remember that. Oftentimes people don't really get that many compliments, and if you do say something looks nice, it really just resonates with them and they're more likely to come and talk to you. Okay, tip number 7, I think, and that is to settle into a good routine. It'll help you in the longer run because you'll be more inclined to do things quicker and you'll get things done faster and you'll understand things quicker, which is the whole goal of A-levels. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. For anyone worried about A-level, don't be. You'll do so well and honestly find it bittersweet when you come to remember it in the end. And if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It'll massively help the channel. And yeah, click here for 10 things to do before back to school that you'll find really useful. Maybe you've done a few of them already. And I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye for now.